The A-10 Warthog is now in the fight across the southern flank and is hunting and killing fast attack watercraft in the Straits of Hormuz.
The A-10 Warthog was never supposed to fight a war like this, built in the Cold War to destroy Soviet tanks. This slow, heavily armored, flying gun is now flying into one of the most dangerous airspaces on Earth, the skies around Iran. And recently, something changed. Reports began to surface, whispers at first, that an A-10 may have been hit, even shot down near the Strait of Hormuz. If that's true, it raises a serious question. Is the A-10 still a battlefield legend? Or has modern warfare finally caught up with it? Because what's happening right now isn't just about one aircraft. It's about whether an icon of American air power can survive in a world of advanced missiles, drones, and layered air defenses. And the answer might change the future of warfare. To understand what's at stake, you need to understand what the A-10 actually is. This isn't a typical fighter jet. It doesn't rely on speed. It doesn't rely on stealth. The A-10 was built around one thing, a massive 30mm cannon, the GAU-8 Avenger. This weapon fires nearly 4,000 rounds per minute, designed to rip through tanks like paper. Everything else on the aircraft exists to support that gun. The engines are mounted high to avoid ground fire. The cockpit is surrounded by a titanium bathtub that can survive direct hits. The wings are straight, allowing it to fly slow, low, and stable over the battlefield. And that's exactly what makes it special. The A-10 doesn't just attack targets. It protects troops on the ground, flying low, staying in the fight, and taking hits that would destroy most aircraft. In Iraq, Afghanistan, and countless conflicts, soldiers trusted the sound of the A-10 overhead, because when it showed up, it meant survival. But the battlefield the A-10 was built for no longer exists. Today's wars are different. Instead of tanks rolling across open fields, we now have layered air defense systems, radar-guided missiles that can detect and destroy aircraft from miles away. Countries like Iran have spent years building exactly that. Systems like the S-300, mobile missile batteries, integrated radar networks, all designed to create a deadly no-fly zone. And here's the problem. The A-10 flies low. It flies slow. And it operates close to the target. In modern warfare, that makes it extremely vulnerable. Add to that the rise of drones, cheaper, harder to detect, and capable of striking without risking a pilot. Suddenly, the A-10's greatest strength, staying in the fight, becomes its biggest risk. Because in a high-threat environment, staying too long can get you killed. And that brings us to right now. As tensions rise between the United States and Iran, the A-10 has quietly been deployed into the region. Its mission? Close air support, maritime strike, deterrence. In places like the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most strategically important waterways in the world, the A-10 is being used to counter fast attack boats and provide rapid response firepower. But this isn't Iraq, and it's not Afghanistan. This is a region where the enemy has real air defenses. And then, the reports started coming in. Claims that an American aircraft had been hit. Speculation that an A-10 was targeted. Now, not all of these reports are confirmed. But even the possibility is enough to change the conversation. Because if an A-10 can be successfully targeted in this environment, then its role in modern conflict becomes a serious question. This debate has been going on for years. The U.S. Air Force has repeatedly tried to retire the A-10. Why? Because modern aircraft like the F-35 can strike targets from a distance, using precision weapons, without ever entering dangerous airspace. From a strategic standpoint, that makes sense. But here's the counter-argument. No aircraft has truly replaced what the A-10 does best: close air support. When troops are pinned down, when targets are close, when decisions need to be made in seconds. The A-10 is still one of the most effective platforms ever built, It can loiter, it can see the battlefield, and it can deliver devastating firepower with precision. So the question isn't just whether it's outdated, it's whether modern warfare still has a place for something like it. The truth is, the A-10 isn't obsolete, but it's no longer invincible. In low-intensity conflicts, it's unmatched. In high-threat environments, it's at risk. And that's the reality of modern war. It's no longer about one powerful machine dominating the battlefield. It's about systems, networks, sensors, missiles, drones. The A-10 was built for a different era, but it's now being forced to adapt to a new one. And what happens next matters, because if the A-10 can no longer survive in places like Iran, then the entire concept of close air support may need to evolve. But if it does survive, if it continues to prove its value even in the face of modern threats, then the Warthog won't just be a legend of the past, it will be a survivor of the future, and that is a story still being written. If you want more breakdowns of real-world military power, strategy, and the stories behind the headlines, subscribe to Jettery YouTube channel, because the wars you don't fully see are the ones that matter most.